The first official look at Robert Pattinson as the iconic Batman has been released. The short teaser only reveals the upper half of the character's design, but now that the movie is officially filming, we've got some on-set photos of the Batsuit in its entirety, along with a sneak peek at the super retro Batcycle. So how does the new Batsuit compare to other versions of the Caped Crusader? And what do the biggest changes mean for the new movie? Well, from these first look photos, it seems like director Matt Reeves will be taking inspiration from the Batman Zero Year comics. But that doesn't mean that there won't be some movie references incorporated into the character's new look. We've analyzed some of Batman's most iconic looks over the years to find out how Pattinson and his Batcycle are about to change everything we thought we knew about the classic character. The Batman is about to entirely redefine the character of Bruce Wayne in yet another on-screen adaptation of the Vigilante's story. But what's different about this new rendition is that director Matt Reeves wants to take Bruce Wayne back to his detective days, and he's cast Robert Pattinson to achieve his vision. The Batman is set to be a fresh take on the Batman origin story, with director Matt Reeves expressing his desire to get back to basics with the iconic character. This means that Pattinson is officially in and Ben Affleck is out in an effort to redesign the Caped Crusader for a brand new on-screen adventure. On February 13th, we got our first look at Robert Pattinson in the character's new suit. The teaser focused on Batman's chest armor, bat symbol, and the bottom half of his mask. But the sneak peek was enough to get us speculating on other features of Reeves' Batman adventure. For one, Pattinson's suit features a bat symbol that's unique to film interpretations of the Vigilante. At first glance, it may appear that the Batman is making a major change to the comic book hero by taking away the bat symbol's iconic ears. But in actuality, this is similar to the way it looked when Batman was first created in Detective Comics number 27 in May 1939. The original version of the Batman symbol didn't have ears. And that's not the only interesting thing we notice about the bat symbol. Instead of being one solid piece, the logo is made up of two parts. They appear to be pieces of a gun, which is likely the gun used on Bruce Wayne's parents. In the comics, Batman places the two metal pieces in his suit just over his heart. This makes sense for the movie since Robert Pattinson's Batman will be fairly new to his role as a superhero. Matt Reeves has confirmed that Bruce Wayne will only be in his second year of crime fighting during the Batman, and will work more as a detective than a vigilante. In the earliest Batman comics, the Caped Crusader's enemies often referred to him as the Batman rather than just Batman. But the title isn't the only thing Reeves wants to use to reference the Bat's early days. The new suit seems very similar to the very first Batsuit design in 1939. In the comics, Bruce's cowl features two comically long ears that come to sharp points. While we didn't get a very good look at the character's ears in the teaser trailer, some on-set photos have just been leaked that allow us to get a clearer picture of what we can expect from the upgraded Batsuit. While filming in Glasgow, a stunt double was photographed riding a retro-looking Batcycle through a graveyard and taking a bit of a seemingly unplanned tumble. But don't worry, the small spill was probably nothing for the trained stunt performer. The stuntman is joined by a female stunt double on another motorcycle, perhaps Catwoman? Since the Batman seems to be taking place a while after Bruce Wayne lost his parents, it's possible that Batman and Catwoman will have a moment of bonding by Thomas and Martha's graves. The Batsuit worn by the double looks pieced together as if it's been built and modified one section at a time. The head covering has some visible stitching, suggesting it's custom built. It also appears less tech-heavy than other on-screen Batman cowls. If that's the case, those sharp, pointy ears, reminiscent of the earliest days of Batman, might not be capable of communication or long-distance listening. At least not in this film, which might leave some room for Batman to get a bit old school and rely on his physical skills and sleuthing rather than his impressive technology. The character also has tactical leather boots and gadgets strapped to his leg and arms. The gauntlet features what might be darts, which means we might get a crossbow-wielding Batman like in Batman Zero Year. Now that would be cool. But comics aside, how does Batman's new, rough, retro look compare to other on-screen adaptations of the character? If we compare Matt Reeves' character design to Tim Burton's Batman, the most striking difference is the bright yellow bat logo. Pattinson's is less flashy but more intimidating than Michael Keaton's. Plus, Keaton's Batsuit is rubbery and wet looking, while Pattinson's is decidedly more industrial and lightweight. This suggests that the Batman will take a less theatrical route than Burton's Batman. It might even be the most realistic interpretation of the character yet. One change we're definitely thankful for is the transition from the nipple-centric Batsuit worn by Val Kilmer in Batman Forever to something with less muscles but more practical applications. While Kilmer's second Batsuit was more technologically advanced, Pattinson's suit has a kind of amateur vibe with its visible stitching and rough metal ornamentations. It makes the Batman seem more human and less sure of himself, which is probably a topic Reeves wants to explore in the new film. As for the Dark Knight trilogy, there are some notable changes to the aesthetic. For starters, Christian Bale's pointy-eared cowl in Batman Batman Begins was more of a helmet, while Pattinson's looks more like a standard mask. Plus, Bale's logo is more subtle and blended seamlessly into the Batman's chest. This subtly suited Nolan's style, but Pattinson's bat symbol seems to hint at a less gritty path for the character. It's in The Dark Knight and The Dark Knight Rises where we can see the most similarities between the costumes. Christian Bale's plated Batsuit was split into smaller pieces, creating improved movement and flexibility. This pieced-together, lightweight look seems to be one of Reeve's sources of inspiration for Pattinson's Batman, and we're sure the new look also gives the actor more range of motion, which he's going to need to take on some of the Batman's biggest villains. As for Ben Affleck, the most recent Caped Crusader's costume seems a far cry from Pattinson's updated look, suggesting that DC really wanted to distance themselves from the latest Batman. Affleck's Batsuit was scratched up and an unappealing worn gray color. Closer similarities can be found in Affleck's updated Justice League suit, which reverted the gray back to the classic black. But both of Affleck's suits were dominated by an open, flat-chested design which is quite different from Pattinson's more textured look. With that said, there is a very strong resemblance between Affleck and Pattinson's Batman from the neck up. Ben Affleck's cowl had subtler eyebrow ridges and the piece's nose shape is similar to Pattinson's new suit. So at least, Matt Reeve didn't want to completely erase Ben Affleck's contribution to the iconic role. But Batman's skin-tight suit isn't the only important aspect of his character design. We can't have a Caped Crusader without an awesome cape, right? Robert Pattinson's cape is almost non-existent in the first look trailer, but it still gives us a few hints about what the finished product might look like in the film. Batman and Batman Forever molded the Vigilante's cape into his suit, while Christopher Nolan's Batsuits found somewhere to visibly tuck the capes in for practicality. The Batman seems to follow the DC Extended Universe's Batman by mixing these two techniques, where the cape is distinct from the suit, but the joints blend into the shoulders and the neck. In the leaked on-set photos, the stunt double doesn't seem to have a cape flowing behind him. But that makes sense since the cape is the last thing you'd want to get caught in the wheels of the Batcycle. It's likely that the cape will get added in later with CGI, like DC did with Ben Affleck's cape in Batman vs Superman. That is, unless movie Batman makes a show of tucking his cape out of the way before taking off on his motorcycle. Safety first, people. While we're excited by the new look, we want to hear from you. What's your favorite on-screen Batsuit so far? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Batman's capeless motorcycle antics could be very telling about Bruce Wayne's preferred form of transportation in the new film. Since Batman is getting back to basics, it's highly likely that he won't have a Batmobile at all, especially if the film is taking inspiration from one of the comics that seems most representative of this new design, the 2013 and 2014 storyline for Batman Zero Year. The storyline reimagines the superhero's origin as he contends with the Riddler, who is busy terrorizing Gotham City. Bruce Wayne's fairly new to the whole Batman thing, and he has a few strange encounters in the series that we aren't used to seeing from Batman on the big screen. For one, he moves out of Wayne Manor and into Brownstone, and even has a voluntary stint staying at Arkham Asylum. Will Matt Reeves take a cue from last year's Joker and explore Bruce Wayne's mental decline after the loss of his parents? It could happen. In the Zero Year storyline, Batman has a fairly simple looking motorcycle that's black and has the Bat's iconic ears, just like the one in the leaked photos. It could be the first of many bikes and high-tech vehicles for Bruce Wayne, meaning that we might get to see the Batcycle and other forms of Bat-tech develop throughout these new Batman films. Matt Reeves wants The Batman to be a noir detective film, so having the Batcycle be Bruce Wayne's main focus of transportation would be suitable for the dark, gritty feel of the film, and a few less gadgets would mean that Batman's skills would go far beyond his money and access to technology. Plus, since we already have stunt doubles on set, there's likely going to be a lot of physical work for Batman to do as he sleuths his way around Gotham City. But one thing's for sure, this new iteration for Batman is an attempt by DC to completely redefine the character. While some of DC's films have done well, most particularly Wonder Woman, others like Batman vs Superman took a bunch of criticism from critics and audience. With no planned Justice League follow-ups in the near future, it seems like DC will be giving Pattinson space to re-establish the character before he makes any crossovers into other DC properties. If Reeves intends to pursue a similar path to Joker, the Pattinson films could be entirely standalone. But don't worry too much about not getting to see Robert Pattinson and Gal Gadot share the screen. DC will probably want to throw Pattinson into other films if the Batman does well in cinemas. Robert Pattinson will be joined by an entirely new cast, including Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, Colin Farrell as Penguin, Paul Dano as the Riddler, Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth, and Jeffrey Wright as Commissioner Jim Gordon. The film will only be released in theaters on June 25th, 2021, but now that filming has officially commenced, we can expect plenty more leaked photos before the Caped Crusader makes his newest on-screen debut. Is it too much to ask for Colin Farrell's Penguin design to leak next? What other character designs from the Batman are you most excited to see? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to Screen Rant for more. Thanks for watching and see you next time.